What's going on YouTube? It's Mike and Mitch from Quickie DFS here to break down another showdown slate for you guys. We have the Buffalo Bills tonight versus the Tennessee Titans. We have the Vegas odds pulled up here, as you can see. I'm going to let Mitch take over and talk about it with you guys.
This seems to be another really fun game. The primetime games have been a lot of fun lately. On Sunday morning, you know that primetime game in London, those games have sucked.
That's one thing I want to mention. How the NFL screwed the London fans. It was the Jets and the Falcons, and then you got the Dolphins and the Jaguars. Why are those the two games you put in London?
I think they do that on purpose. And 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So imagine if you were on West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, if I was from London, I'd want to see better games. Even though they were two good games, I'd want to see better teams play.
So I agree. The primetime games have been kind of bad. Like last night was Seattle versus Pittsburgh. It ended up being an okay game, but it wasn't really an exciting game. So with that being said, I think this game is actually a really exciting game. Even if you take the betting out of it, I think there's a lot to like in this game. We got superstar running back, we got superstar wide receivers on either side, a superstar quarterback. So it's going to be a lot of fun to just watch. But we'll get into this now, and I kind of want to start on DraftKings because this price is just ridiculous. If you were going to play Josh Allen in your captain, $19,000 is a lot. I think that'll keep his ownership down at the captain, but I think it's a great captain play.
I agree. That's not even the Josh Allen fan to me. I do agree. I could see myself paying $20K. To put
a little more reasonable.
Yeah, but still, you're still paying a premium price for Josh Allen. But we all know what he does, guys. We all know he's legit.
Yeah. So I love Josh Allen. I think his price is out freaking outrageous on DK, even draft on FanDuel. But at a flex, I think you're gonna lose if you don't play Josh Allen.
I'm playing Josh Allen.
Yeah, even the price. Would you play him at captain on DraftKings though?
Probably not, just because of the price. I honestly wouldn't even play Derrick Henry at captain on DraftKings because of his price.
Yeah, they're really priced up. They're good options, but they're going to be more of a flex. I have somebody on DraftKings I really like at captain. We'll get into it. He's kind of cheap, so it'll be a way to get to Josh Allen. But Josh Allen, he's an elite passer. His rushing floor is great. His rushing touchdowns in the red zone is great. For that reason, I probably won't be rostering any Bills running backs, just because of what Josh Allen does with his feet. What's your opinion on?
I agree 100%. I'll have no Buffalo running backs. I'll have 100% Josh Allen, though. And we've seen what this dude does, and I'm really tired of all the slander that I get for being a Josh Allen fan, because the dude's a baller. So with that being said, just lock and load Josh Allen tonight, even captain or not. Lock and load Josh Allen, guys.
Yeah. So moving on down to Josh Allen's pass catchers. The last primetime slate, we talked Diggs up so much against Kansas City, and we ended up being wrong. It's okay. I'm okay with being wrong because I know most of the time I'm right. So with that being said, I think it's another spot for Stefon Diggs to kind of get right. He, like last video when he was here, we said, against the Chiefs, it's his get right spot. I'm once again going back to the Stefon Diggs well here and hoping tonight that he proves me right.
So will I. I'll be going back to the well. I'll have Stefon Diggs rostered on both sites, DraftKings and FanDuel. We know what he's capable of, guys. We know that Tennessee's defense is one of the worst in the league. I'm not really worried. I don't think even your elite cornerbacks can really cover this elite receiver. It also helps that he has Emmanuel Sanders and Dawson Knox catching balls around him, so it's not their main focus anymore.
With that being said, though, with him having other playmakers around him finally, it is kind of taking the Stefon Diggs hype out a little bit because they're spreading the ball around like a good offense should and not just stare down one receiver, Sam Darnold. But so I like Stefon Diggs, but I also like Emmanuel Sanders. Someone I'm really liking tonight is Knox.
Yeah, I'm all in on Knox, especially on FanDuel. I think 9K is pretty cheap. He has 5 touchdowns. This is not... I am a Buffalo fan, guys, so when I say this, don't take it like that, but I'll have him again tonight. I think he's a very elite tight end. Some people might not think he's elite, but in the red zone, he's very elite, and I don't care what anybody says about that.
Yeah, with that being said, we know Knox is kind of coming to his own here as of recently. Josh Allen's favorite red zone target other than himself. Are you going to be rostering any Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah, I'll have some Emmanuel Sanders. Like, when it comes to Showdown, I make multiple lineups, but I'm not expecting 2 touchdowns.
Right.
So when you're rostering Emmanuel Sanders tonight, guys, don't expect 2 touchdowns. It's just not how it goes. It doesn't work that way. Now, I'm not saying he can't have 2 touchdowns, but the last 2 times we've talked about him, he had 2 touchdowns, didn't have a touchdown, then had 2 touchdowns again. So with that being said, I'm telling you, don't expect a touchdown tonight. It just doesn't work that way.
I also don't like how they're only 1,000 apart here on DraftKings. It's really kind of close. I think you're going to either pick one, and with them being so close, I'm going to ride with Diggs on this.
The better one. Yeah, you're going to pick the better one.
They're a little too close here, which doesn't necessarily make sense to me. So we've covered his tight end. We've covered his 2 favorite wide receivers.
No running backs for us, guys.
We're going to say no running backs, but, with the kind of luck we've had lately, both running backs would probably have a touchdown. But no running backs for us tonight.
One thing I will say is, we usually say no kickers, but with tonight being like a high-scoring affair, I believe it's going to be, because I don't think Tennessee has a good defense. Buffalo's defense is good, but I do think Tennessee puts up some points. I can get behind both kickers tonight. I'm not telling you guys to play both kickers in your lineups and lock and load, but if you end up having to play one for 32 or 34, do it. They're going to get you, 6 to 10 points? Some people don't do that at all. So you can win with a kicker, especially in a high-scoring affair.
So with Mike saying that, I agree. I think on a slate like this where you're trying to, maybe you're trying to stuff in the top guys. Say, your build, you want Josh Allen at captain,
and then you want Henry.
So with that being said, you're going to need to find some salary relief here on the slate, and there's not much. But the kickers could be a relief. If A.J. Brown does come out to be sick, I think he plays, though.
It bothers me. He's been questionable. He missed a game. I know it's not a hamstring injury this time, but coming into Monday being ruled questionable from Sunday night in your illness, and you guys already know with this COVID shit going on, you never really know what can happen. So just keep in mind, if A.J. Brown is out, Westbrook in high, I think that Ikine.
We'll just say Westbrook.
Yeah, I think everybody gravitates towards him, but I think I lean Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, with the price difference too.
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds only $400 here on DraftKings. But these are only plays personally for me. If A.J. Brown is out, I might dive down here. But those are just cheap plays if A.J. Brown is out. But I fully expect A.J. Brown to be out. It is a little worried that all of a sudden on Saturday, Sunday night, morning, he came up questionable. Sorry, that was the cat you heard there. Moving on, we're going to go on to...
Oh, hold on 1 second. One person we didn't talk about from the pass catchers from Buffalo is Cole Beasley, guys.
I'm out. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no. You see how he had 13 targets? I don't know what that came from. He hit 13, 4, 13, 2, and 2. So it seems that Emmanuel Sanders is taking him away from Cole Beasley. We know what Cole Beasley is capable of. He just hasn't been given the opportunities lately. I don't hate Cole Beasley.
I hate it.
But if you land on him, you land on him, and that's what you need to do. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I probably won't be playing him on DraftKings. I think his price a little bit better on FanDuel. Yeah, I'd rather play him on FanDuel than DraftKings.
I would play him on FanDuel maybe.
But I really don't want to play him at all.
Yeah.
If you land on him, that's cool. But I don't want to play him at all.
Don't prioritize him. We like Allen and Diggs at the top with Knox sprinkled in as well. Moving on to, we'll start at the quarterback for the Titans. He's kind of been a letdown this year. The tail end of last year, the playoffs and stuff, he looked really, really good. I can't fault him for looking kind of bad without A.J. Brown, without Julio. But he hasn't really played his best. He could play better. With that being said, he's going up against a tough Bills defense here. But I do see an opportunity for him to put up points. And when he does seem to get into a close game, that's when we see that Ryan Tannehill little it factor that he has. And I expect this to be a close game. So with that said, I like Ryan Tannehill a lot tonight. I probably, if I had to choose between the one, because I doubt you'll be able to get both Henry or Ryan Tannehill, I'm going to prioritize getting to Tannehill over Henry. I like this game to shoot. and I think Henry is a viable option, but they got to dial back his workload a little bit. It's just through the roof. We've been playing him every week on DFS.
Yeah, but he also hasn't had healthy receivers around him as to why his workload has... He's always been a workhorse, we know this, but his workload has been increased because he hasn't had Julio or A.J. Brown around him.
And they're back, so it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of give Derrick Henry, his not normal touches, but about 20 touches. I don't think he's going to top 30 again or 35 or really get to those many touches. I don't see that in this kind of game, but it's possible.
I agree with the workload 100%. We haven't seen a healthy Tennessee team since week 1 against Arizona, and they got shellacked. Derrick Henry only touched the ball 17 times, and
they were trailing.
If I'm being honest, guys, it wouldn't surprise me to see 17 to 24 touches. It's not going to be 33, I don't think, or 35 with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones back. Now, if one of them misses, as A.J. Brown is questionable, we're still waiting for the news on that. If he misses, I could see him getting 28 carries with Julio Jones there. So that's just something to keep in mind. Between the two, I already know Mitch said he leans Tannehill. I also lean Tannehill myself, just because of the price thing. I also think Buffalo has a decent front. I know it's Derrick Henry, but we've seen games where Derrick Henry kind of just disappears. It's happened before. So even on over here, I'm still going Tannehill over Derrick Henry, especially because the salary thing. He's cheaper. So I'm gonna be able to get me my Josh Allen. I don't want Derrick Henry. I'm sorry. And then you still got 96. So you go those two right here. Move on, guys. You got 10K for average and for the last two. You could build a pretty lineup with that. So I'm done over here on FanDuel. This is my core. I love Josh Allen. I love Dawson Knox. You can go Derrick Henry over Ryan Tannehill, but these are my three guys. I'm going to let Mitch take over now and talk to you guys about DraftKings again.
Yeah, so like Mike said, you like Derrick Henry. He's a great player, but unfortunately on these showdowns, especially with there not being that much value, it's kind of difficult to get to a Derrick Henry in a game script that I don't necessarily see leaning in his favor. I think a lot of passing going on, not as much runs, and his wide receivers are healthy, so I'm also going to jump on the Tannehill bandwagon there. And we haven't seen Tannehill with healthy receivers since week 1, and they did get destroyed by the Cardinals, but I want to say that was kind of a fluke game. So I'm going to load Tannehill in my captain, then Josh Allen. And then, where'd he go? My favorite play of the slate is probably Julio Jones on DraftKings. 6,600 is a complete disrespect to Julio. We know he's been hurt, but we know that he's way better than that, and he can honestly break the slate. So with that, these three guys, you're kind of stuck at an average salary of 53, and that's where these kickers kind of come in, where you get some relief out of the kicker, and it opens you up to some of these upper echelon of players that we're looking to target, and mainly, like Mike said, a Knox, a Sanders, a Diggs. So that would kind of round out my build. I'm just throwing in this kicker here to give myself some salary relief and jam in, Diggs who I want, Knox who I want, and kind of going on from there. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up our showdown video. You can find us on Twitter at QuickieDFS. Tomorrow, we got finally NBA seasons here. We'll be providing for that. Make sure to
don't miss out on that one, guys. That's one of our better sports. There's going to be two of us. It's going to be Quickie DFS Mike and Quickie DFS Shug going over it with you guys. We'll be the two main NBA guys. If you need to find us on Twitter, it's at Quickie DFS Mike or just at Quickie DFS or at Quickie DFS Shug, and we'll help you guys out. With that being said, we're going to wrap this up now. Have a good one, guys. Please like and subscribe.
See ya.